Hello all and welcome back to my channel Nomadico Jewel. So in this video I'm going to explain a step-by-step process how to apply for an extension of open work permit. Watch this video till end because if you make any kind of a mistake in this, then this might be a reason of a rejection of your extension of work permit. If you are new to my channel, then kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon. So let me explain you the situation when you can apply for this extension of an open work permit. So the situation is that I am on a postgraduate work permit and my wife, who is already in Canada, and she have to extend her open work permit until I got my postgraduate work permit. So this video is for them who have to extend their open work permit according to the work permit date of which the spouse have got it. So I have got a 3 years of work permit, so now my wife will also have to extend her work permit for the next 3 years. So this video is for this kind of a situation. So let's begin. So you need to click on apply to come to Canada. So you will find two different options, the personal reference code, and I do not have a personal reference code. So you have to click on this button, which is visitor visa, study or work permit. So now you will see a different questionnaire. So you have to fill this and this will let you know that you are eligible or not. So what would you like to do in Canada? So you would like to work. How long you are planning to stay in Canada? So it will be a temporary more than 6 months. Select the code that matches the one on your passport. So I will select India. What is your current territory of residence? If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. So yes, so my wife is already in Canada, so I will select Canada. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident and is 18 years or older? No. What is your date of birth? So I will just mention my date of birth right now, which is 30 June 1989. Then I'll create next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of United States with a valid US citizenship and immigration services? No. What is your current immigration status in Canada? So you are already a worker right now. You already have a work permit, open work permit, so you have to select worker. Next. So now here is important because this will be very according to your case. So let's start. Like, does one of the following applies to you? I am a subject of a removal order that is unenforceable. No. I applied for a study or work permit before entering Canada which was approved but not issued at the port of entry. No. I am a primary or secondary school or visiting exchange student in Canada with a visitor visa. No. I am applying for an open work permit under an active public policy or pilot program announced by IRCC. No. I am a student who has completed a program study. That is, so most probably this will be like almost maximum case will be no, but you just see this, like I applied for a permanent resident and was found eligible first stage approval under one of the following classes. So if you have applied for a permanent residence and if you have got an invitation, then only you have to select yes, or else there, so if you match this criteria, then only you have to select yes, or else you can just select no. Are you a spouse, common law partner or a dependent child of a person who holds a work permit for a job in a national occupation classification? This will be yes, because I am applying for my wife's extended open work permit and I already have a job. Okay, so I will select yes. You can also see the other option as well. Holds a study permit or full-time student as a university, holds a temporary resident permit that is valid for 6 months or more, applied for a permanent resident to an office in Canada and was determined to be eligible for a permanent resident status, is subject for a removal order. But I will select, yeah, this is the one which I am eligible, so yeah, I will select yes. Are you a spouse, common law partner, or a dependent child of a person who is a foreign government officer? No. Military personnel? No. Participant in professional sports activity? No. An employee of a foreign new company? No. A religious worker? So this will be no, but usually it will be yes in this situation. Then you will select next. What is your marital status? Of course it is married. What is your province of destination? If visiting multiple provinces, select the one in which you will spending the most of your time. So I will select British Columbia because I am currently in British Columbia. You need to select next. Once you select next, now you can see that you are eligible to apply for a temporary resident visa, which is TRV, and as well as an open work permit. But you don't have to apply simultaneously both of them. But when you see over here, the conditions to apply your TRV is that if your work or study permit is expiring soon, please renew your study or work permit first, like we are doing that. Once your study or work permit is approved, you may apply for your temporary resident visa. So once you have the approval of your open work permit, after that only you can apply for a TRV. So we are going to apply for open work permit, so we will click on continue over here. These are some instructions, you can just click continue. Are you accompanying a family member who has a status in Canada? Yes, because you are accompanying your spouse, so it would be yes. When does your status in Canada expire? So this will be mentioned in your current work permit. So whatever date you have on your work permit, accordingly you need to write on it. So I will just mention like 1st of April 2023. Next. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel? This will also depend on a situation. If you have a valid medical exam result, then you can click on yes, or else in my situation I will select no. A medical exam is needed before you submit your application for a foreign national who are, so you can check if you are following into this, then only you have to select yes, or else you need to select no. Find out if you are eligible to apply. So do you want to work in one of the following jobs? Are you going to work in this following job? If you are going to work in this following job, then you have to do a medical exam, but in my case I will select no. You need to select next. Find out if you are eligible to apply. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? I will say no. Then just click on next. Are you giving someone access to your application? No, I am not giving any access. Click on next. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and a photo biometric for an application to come to Canada? Yes, I have given. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying your fees? Yes, I'll be paying my application fees. Next. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? Yes. Click on next. Will you be paying your application fees online? Yes, I'll be paying my fees online. So this is what you have filled your answer. So just make sure before going to the next page, just check all the details, whatever you have mentioned is properly you have entered it or not. If you have made any mistake, you can just click on this edit and you can just change your answers. So I will just select continue. So these are the steps, like accordingly you have to create it. So if you want, you can just check it, but after this also you have to click on continue. So you will see a document checklist, of which like you have to upload all the documentations which are mentioned over here. So the first one is IMM5710 form, in which like I will show you like how you can fill this form. You will need your passport. I will suggest you scan your passport with the front page, back page, as well as your Canada visa as well, or whatever visa you have. So your full Passport, it should be scanned and you need to upload it. Your digital photo, it should be as per the specification. So if you don't know the specification, you can just click this and you can see what are the specification is. Your marriage certificate, again it's a the compulsory document. Family member proof of status, so this will be your spouse postgraduate work permit, you need to upload over here. So according to the date of your spouse postgraduate work permit, the same date will be issued, the same expiry date will be issued to your open work permit as well. So you need to upload that work permit over here. This is optional, so it is not required, but in the client information I will suggest to include the job offer letter of your spouse, the pay stubs of your spouse, bank statement, and whatever whatever extra document you want to upload and you want to convince the visa officer. It is again an optional document. I will suggest just a few documentations which you can see in the description, and you can just upload that documentations and it will be fine. And once you will fill all this and once you will upload all this, you will get an option to pay your fees. So the fees for the open work permit is 255 Canadian dollars. So in the next step you just have to pay the fees and you will get a submission confirmation. So this is the first step, you have to do it. Now I will show you how to fill this form which is IMM5710. So this is a form which is IMM5710. I have received many of the messages that I am unable to open this file. I will suggest, like, whenever you click on that form, it will go to a same browser. You have to download that form and you have to open this into the Adobe Reader. This form will not get open into the browser, so you have to click on it and you have to open into the Adobe Reader. So let's start. UCI number, the first one is your UCI number. So UCI number is mentioned in your work permit which already you have on the right side of top right side of your work permit. So you can just check the UCI number and you just mention over here, I want service in English. So now this is the main thing, like I am applying for one of the following. So you have to select apply for a work permit with the same employer, because you have to extend your work permit. So you just have to click on, you just have to tick on apply for a work permit with the same employer. The next is the family name and the given name, and it should be as per your passport, so don't make any mistake in it. Accordingly, whatever you have, the name and the family name, you have to enter over here. Have you ever used by another name? Most probably it would be no. So whenever you click on no, this will be gray out, so you don't have to fill that. Whatever sex, it's like about male or female, whatever it is, you need to select that. Your date of birth, place of birth, so this place of birth should also match with your passport details, so just make sure that you enter whatever it is in your passport. Country or territory, so of course, like I'm from India, so it would be India. Citizenship, again this will depend upon you, whoever is watching this video from which country, I don't know, but in my case it's India. Country, current country or territory of residence. So current, like I am currently living in Canada, so you have to write Canada over here. And what is your status? So you are a worker, so you will just see that it is blackout over here. So once you select a worker, you need to write the date over here from when it was been issued and until when it is issued. So it will, this date are mentioned in your work permit, so you have to mention that date. Previous country or territory of residence, during the past 5 years, have you lived in any country or territory other than your country of citizenship or country or current country or territory? In my case it's no, but if you have certain things, then you have to select yes and you have to fill these details. Your current marital status, married, so if you're married, then you have to write your marriage date. Then you have to write your spouse, family name and given name. Again, this should be as per the passport, so just make sure that this should be as per the passport. If you are married or in a common law partnership, is your spouse or a common law partner a Canadian citizen or permanent resident? You have to select no. Have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? No. Then you have to come to this language. So whatever language it is, I am Gujarati, so I will select Gujarati. Are you able to communicate in English? Yes. Have you taken the test from a designated testing agency to access your proficiency in English? So this is not a compulsory like you should have it. So in my case, like my wife have not given any IELTS exam, so I will select no. The passport number, it should be again passport, country of issue, issue date and expiry date, everything has been mentioned in your passport, so you need to mention everything over here. For this trip, will you use a passport issued by a Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Taiwan? No. For this trip, will you use a national Israeli passport? No. Do you have a national identity document? I will select yes, and again you have to mention your passport details, issue date and expiry date, or whatever country you have the identity document. For India, I would say if you also write Aadhaar card details over here, it is fine. But if you want to keep a simple and safe, just mention the passport details and you can go ahead. About US PR card, are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? No. Now these are your current mailing address. So just make sure you don't make any mistake in this address, because you will receive your open work permit on this address. So just make sure you write a proper address, apartment number, street name, city, postal code, province, everything, it should be proper. If you have a same address, it's fine, so you can just select yes. Then your telephone number, if you have the alternate number, your fax number. Don't forget to mention the email ID, because you will get an update and this email ID will go into your account. So just make sure to write a proper email address. The next is coming into Canada. So date and place of your original entry to Canada. So whatever date you have landed in Canada, you have to mention that date, as well as the place. Like in my case, it was Vancouver, and the date, according to the date, like the same date whatever you have in an open work permit, you can write the same date, because on the same day you would have an issued same work permit, so you can write a date. The original purpose of for coming to Canada, as you have already got your work permit, so it should be work. Date and place of your most recent entry to Canada. So if you have visited to any other country like US or India or somewhere else, then you have to mention the date and place again over here. Fourth is, if applicable, provide the document number of the most recent visitor record, study permit, work permit, or temporary resident permit issued to you. So this will be in your work permit on the right top hand side, like on the top right hand side you will have your document number, so you have to mention that. Details of intent work in Canada. So what type of work permit you are applying? So you are applying for an open work permit, so you have to select open work permit. Details of my prospective employer, attach original offer of employment. So here so you can say that this is not an mandatory part, because you are not going to work with the same employer, or you don't have an LMI or something. So it is okay if you don't fill this field, it's fine, because this is not a mandatory part. So it is okay that you don't fill and you can just go with the next part. So next is education. Have you had any post-secondary education? So whatever education you have, you can just select yes, and you can mention the highest education whatever you have. The employment, again I would suggest like whatever employment currently working, or whatever you have the experience, you can just mention all the details over here. Background information. So you must complete this section if you are 18 year of age or older. So within the past 2 years, have you or family member ever had a tuberculosis? I would say no. Do you have any physical or mental disorder? No. Have you remained beyond the validity of your status? No. Have you ever been refused a visa permit, denied entry, or ordered to leave Canada or any other country or territory? Just make sure if there is any rejection in the past, then you have to select yes, or else you just select no. If you have select yes, then you have to mention the details over here with the file number, with the application number, and what was the reason of the rejection. So I will just select no. Have you previously applied to enter or remain in Canada? This will come yes, because you have already applied for the visa and you have applied for the work permit. So you can just select yes, and you just mention like, yes, I have applied to enter in Canada, and this was the application number, and I have issued an open work permit. So you can just mention this detail over here. So you can just select yes, and you can mention the details. The third is, have you ever committed or been arrested? No. Did you serve in any military or civil defense unit? No. Are you or have you ever been a member of associated with political party? No. Have you ever witnessed or participated in ill treatment? No. Do you consent to be contacted by IRCC or organization at IRCC request? This depend on you. If you select yes, it's fine, but I will just select no. Signature of applicant. So whoever the applicant is, you have to write your full name, and you need to select the date when you are applying. So whenever you apply, just fill the form, and when you will click on this validate, it will the barcode will be generated, and it will be a confirm that you have filled the form properly. But when you click on validate and you see this error, so it is something that you can say this kind of an error. So you just make sure that you fill it properly, and if you missed something, then also it will show you that you have missed something over here. So you can just fill that form, and then you can go ahead and validate again. So this is all about a step-by-step process how to fill IMM5710e form, along with a process to apply for an extension of open work permit. If you still have any doubt, kindly comment in the comment section, or else also you can follow me on my Instagram page, which is Nomadic Ujjwal. You can follow me on Instagram and you can DM me so that I can reply you as soon as possible. If you feel this video was helpful to you, then kindly like this video, and also you can share to your friends as well. Before ending this video, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon.